Currently, there's a medical nurse at cell 104 for inmate Kendrick. He just suffered a sickle cell crisis. The doctors gave him a shot and left him in the cell. He's still unresponsive in the cell and obviously in distress. There's a medical nurse doing med pass with Officer, what is that lady's name? It's a female officer right now, but her name is Miss Rose, as a matter of fact, and she's doing med pass. The nurse is in front of the door. The officer is contemplating calling another medical code because he's unresponsive and she's not willing to play with his health like that. The nurse doesn't want to give him medication while he's in that state. They should have never walked away and left him in the cell like that. However, this is the essence of the inadequate medical care that's been perpetuating itself at the Allegheny County Jail thus far. So I'm recording this incident. Unfortunately, I cannot just blatantly display that I'm recording the incident, but I'm going to try to catch some of the footage on camera so that you guys in America can see exactly how inadequate the medical care is here at the jail. Right now, inmate Heba Elohim Moss Bay speaking with the medical nurse and explaining what the circumstances is, while Miss Rhodes is at the desk talking to her superiors, I assume, as to what should be the protocol taken in this situation. However, inmate Kendrick is still remaining in the cell in distress as this is taking place. I'm not sure if you can hear what's going on outside my cell door. However, when I do get an opportunity, I'm going to place my hidden camera in my window so that you can catch a glimpse of exactly what's going on, America. This is wrong. It's deliberate negligence, deliberate indifference to a serious medical need at this point. Hopefully you guys caught a glimpse of what's taking place here. I'm going to keep the recording rolling. However, I do have to be discreet as to what is displayed for security purposes, obviously. I don't want to get caught with a hidden camera. They'd really be calling me King Contraband then. This is ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous that this inadequate medical care is perpetuating itself at the Allegheny County Jail after all these years. They still don't have competent medical professionals to make rational decisions with respect to an inmate's health care. It's sad. This is ridiculous that that man's over there going through that. They should have took him to the infirmary the first time they came down here, checked him out, made sure that he was safe, and housed him properly. They left him in the cell without a regard for his health care and safety. That's what they did. Those are the facts. And what's going to happen right now is I'm going to try to catch it on camera so that the world can see it. Hopefully this works. Have to be pretty innovative in a situation like this. Miss Rose is informing inmate Kendrick that they have another nurse that will come down and see him. She's actually attempting to be concerned about the inmate's health care. Miss Rose is. However, I can't say the same for Sergeant Lee, who was here, the sergeant in charge, and did absolutely nothing to ensure that man's safety, or the doctors or other medical professionals who responded to the original medical emergency, who also did a what I would call a minute or minuscule medical procedure, walked out of here and left him on the unit having a sickle cell crisis, and did not transport him to the infirmary, did not perform any testing, or make sure that his safety and health care was adequately cared for with the necessary skills and of the professionals that were charged with the duty of doing so. This shit is really crazy. How does somebody have sickle cell disease, suffer from an actual crisis? The doctor comes and knows that he's suffering from a crisis, refuses or fails to transport him to a medical unit where he can be properly monitored and cared for, walk off the unit, leave him in a crisis situation, and it takes for a caring officer such as Miss Rhodes to actually take notice of the distress and actually do something about it. This is ridiculous. I can definitely see that you definitely care not just about your job, but of the safety of others, and you have my respect for that. It's ridiculous. It's sad. This shit is so sad. Just think if you wouldn't have stopped and noticed that and actually did what it was necessary, they wouldn't even be responding the second time. He just being there in a crisis situation. Shit is ridiculous. Another nurse just walked in, and I guess she's about to address the situation along with the other nurse that was doing med sick call and Miss Rose. As you just saying, Miss Rose is the officer in the middle, and the two med nurses was on the sides of her. I'm trying to get you guys as much footage as possible, but I have to make sure that I protect my own self as well while doing so. Even if it goes quiet, just know that I'm continuously letting this roll because right now circumstances are taking place right next door. And although you may not be able to see exactly what's going on, you can hear me narrate what's going on and anticipate the response that I'm getting from the individuals involved, whether or not you can actually hear them or not. Right now, the officer, Miss Rose, is talking to the nurses and explaining that this man is in distress, hanging halfway off the bed in his cell. And as medical just left him like that, and she's questioning why didn't they just take him up to Unit 5, the medical infirmary, and monitor him properly? And the nurses are explaining to her, oh, they never want to monitor the inmates. They never want to do their jobs. And they're blatantly admitting that they never want to do their jobs and that they purposely and intentionally disregard the health care of the inmates here at the jail. However, nothing's being done about it at the Allegheny County Jail. We've sued them in 2020. They said they would fix it in a consent decree in the Western District of Pennsylvania. They haven't fixed anything. They need to have a federal investigation, a what you call a multi-jurisdictional grand jury investigation into this jail. I'm going to attempt to get you more footage of what's going on so you can see. Miss Rose just says she's ready to call a medical emergency again and let them deal with it because she can't sit there and monitor one inmate versus all the other inmates on the pod when she's doing her rounds and trying to pass out medication. And they are not responding. You have two nurses there that have no assistance from a doctor and no authorization to go in and do any type of procedures other than what's been done previously, which was obviously not enough. Miss Rose is attempting to call the medical infirmary back again and see what she can do to facilitate a means for him to get doctor treatment or something. Oh, she just passed the phone to the nurse. Now she's on the phone. If you can see this, the medical nurse is directly in front of my cell on the phone with the medical department. And she is attempting to talk to them about providing the care necessary. However, we shouldn't have to negotiate for health care here at the jail. Look at this. It's fucking ridiculous. This man is in a sickle cell crisis, and he's in the cell suffering without any treatment or care after they took him off his medication and refused to return it to him. Now look, I'm gonna see if you can catch this on camera. Try to read her lips. She was smart enough to cover her mouth. This shit is foul. Wow. Imagine if you or your loved one or your son or daughter or somebody was incarcerated at the Allegheny County Jail. How would you feel watching this video and hearing what's going on as I narrate the circumstances? Would you feel safe? Would you feel like your loved one was safe? Would you feel like there's more that needs to be done to correct these injustices, such as the deliberate indifference to serious medical needs? Now, I guarantee you, if he filed a lawsuit about this, they'd find some way to dismiss it or undercut it or sweep it under the rug and make it seem like he shouldn't win the lawsuit on a technicality when it's clear and evident what's going on. This is fucked up. That's what I'm saying. This shit is all fucked up. There's no way that we should have to be negotiating with them for him to get medical care. And like if he was to file a lawsuit, they'd try their best to discredit him and make it seem like he shouldn't win for some type of reason when it's clear and evident that they're deliberately indifferent to his serious medical need. Man, he's suffering a sickle cell crisis right now, bro. He's in a crisis right now, and he's actually negotiating. Y'all have to negotiate. There's two medical nurses and Miss Rhodes out there, the officer, negotiating for medical treatment to come back and see him because they've refused to give him adequate care. Huh? I can't hear you. The doctor said no.
Said he's not coming down.
Why not? I'm not understanding this. How is this possible for the doctor to say no? If that's the case and he's refusing to come down here, they can't walk away and leave him like that. Yeah, so they got to call a medical emergency at this point and make the doctor come. See, this is the thing. They keep hiring these fucking quacks down here that don't give a fuck. Yeah, because they're cheap and they're easy to get in here. And they keep hiring these people that don't care about our health care and then have us in crisis situations that could be life or death. I know, I done dealt with him before like that and had to carry him to the shower trying to get him help because medical wouldn't come. And they're doing the same thing that they've been doing. This shit is foul. I bet you any amount of money, if America see this, if America knew about this, Yeah, I bet you they have their own opinion as to what's right and what's wrong. Then it wouldn't be no covering this shit up no more. I've been covering this shit up for too long, bro. I mean, I don't know if it would be wise to try to move them or what's going on, but it's Miss Rose is calling another medical emergency now because it's getting too bad in the cell and she can't afford to let him die on her watch or become seriously, severely injured on her watch. So they just called another medical emergency now. As you can see, the nurses are walking away. Medical, the CO is walking away, going to the desk as well, and they are now at the desk, and they are contemplating what's going to take place next. I assume. This is ridiculous. There's no way that this should be going on like this. Can you see this? Never again, America, will you ever catch footage like this again, where they're blatantly disregarding the health care of an inmate and then you got a doctor refusing to come to the unit knowing that this man is in a sickle cell crisis. You have two medical nurses that are vouching for his condition and asking for backup, and backup is refusing to come. This is unheard of. Wow. Wow. At this point, I'm ready to just keep this motherfucking hidden camera rolling and say fuck if they catch me or not at this point. As long as they don't get me before I can get this information to America, that's all I care about. 'Cause this shit is fucked up. Imagine how he's feeling in there, how much pain he has to be in right now at this point. He has to be in an enormous amount of pain, because there's no way that he has sickle cell disease. And when you have sickle cell disease, your cells, your red blood cells are sickled. They're sickled where they can't pass through your vessels the right way. And I believe that's excruciating pain. It has to be. If it's obstructing the normal flow of blood, and it's, oh man, I can only imagine. It probably feels like razors in his body. Wow. Even the nurses are in disbelief. The nurses are looking at this shit like, what the fuck? And then they're whispering and talking about how inadequate the medical doctor is and what's going on. I'm going to interview Heba Elohim Moss Bay and actually get exactly what the nurses and the officer was saying to him, because he's been directly involved with trying his best to get his little cousin assistance and stuff like that. This is his little cousin that's in the cell. This man should have been taken to the infirmary. They should have did blood work on him. They should be monitoring his condition and ensuring that he doesn't go into epileptic seizures or whatever other thing that could happen during a sickle cell crisis. This is sickle cell disease, America. This is not something to be played with at all. I feel so sorry for that man. And I hope like hell that when this footage comes out, that every civil rights lawyer, every cancer society lawyer, every individual in society that sees this gets involved and says, you know what? Yeah, did you see that video of the Allegheny County Jail that got released? Yeah, that shit was foul. That shit was fucked up, because it is. These people are just not giving him adequate medical care at all. They're just sitting around letting this happen. How is that even possible, man? I mean, I got to give it to Miss Rose. She's done damn near everything she can do to effectuate a means for him to receive medical care. So it doesn't fall on a custody officer that's here right now. It falls on the medical professionals who got the information and had an opportunity to do something about it and deliberately chose not to. Whether it's because they're understaffed and don't have enough people to be in more than one place at one time, or they just deliberately just don't give a damn. They have a custom and a practice here of just not wanting to do their job. They want to make things as simple and smooth as possible, even if it's at the expense of the health and safety of the inmates. And that's what I don't agree with. I don't agree with that not one bit. Because at the end of the day, regardless of what you're accused of, regardless of the fact if you're an inmate or not, you're still a human being and you're still being housed as a pretrial detainee who's entitled to adequate health care and mental health care while in a facility such as this. And it matters not that because you're incarcerated that you should receive any less of a standard of care than any other individual in society. So what really is the reason why he's going through all of these changes and nobody's coming to the unit to respond at all? The medical emergency has just been called on Fort Echo. So now they'll come running. And now we'll see if they adequately handle the situation and circumstances as should be at this point. Because at first, they didn't do anything. Now, if in fact I have to put my camera down, it's because we have too many eyes. Okay, some of the officers are responding now. I'm going to put the camera down and wait, but I'll keep narrating the circumstances. Cuff him for what? He's not in the hole? That ain't policy to cuff no inmate when he's getting medical treatment. You ain't supposed to cuff him like that. You don't intervene and cuff no inmate. He's not a security breach. He's not in the hole. Y'all ain't got to cuff him up. And in the course of cuffing him up, you damage something on him. Then what? Ain't nurse tell him don't cuff him up. Our officers ain't supposed to be making no type of medical decisions like that when it could affect the health care of the inmate. That man is suffering a sickle cell disease crisis. He's a general population inmate. It's not jail protocol to cuff him up. I know every policy in this jail. If he was a segregation inmate, then that would be true. He's not a segregation inmate. All it really requires is for the medical department to come and give him the care that he's supposed to be getting right now. What's wrong with doing that? This shit is crazy, man. Man, inshallah, that man won't die or suffer no irreversible damages. But if he do, stay ass for this. You see how this bumblefuck shit that they did? The doctor should have never left him up here like that. How they call a medical emergency? The doctor left him up here like that, refused to take him to an infirmary and give him adequate care and monitoring him. And now it got to be a second cold call, and they taking their willy-nilly ass time like they just don't have to respond. This shit is ridiculous. Okay. No doubt. Ain't no things looking nice. Ain't no doubt. Yeah. Ain't no doubt. If you gonna lose your medical license fucking with me, I'm gonna make sure you lose that medical license. Yeah, I got you. I'm relaxed. I don't want to make it worse, but I want to make it known that James Byrd is on his ass like back pockets, and I'm going to make sure they get that license. Make sure they get that license. You ain't never supposed to be practicing medicine doing no shit like this to no other human being, period. That ain't never supposed to happen. And he made me wish he was the lawyer that got the shit slapped out of him. I'm sorry, Miss Rhodes. You better leave Miss Rhodes alone before I give you a knuckle sandwich. I said he better leave you alone before I give him a knuckle sandwich. Don't worry about it. The last doctor got up out of here fucking with me. I'm going to get you up out of here too. You ain't got to worry about that. Trust me, my ink work is great. Yeah, that last one was pretty damn easy because he was a fucked up quack. But this dude is just as bad because he think he can just nonchalantly think that people's health care ain't important. I'm going to tear his ass up. I can't wait to put this paperwork down on his nut ass. I can't help it sometimes. He need to hear the truth because, like, a lot of times when I speak, people act like I'm just bluffing until I bang their ass out with that paperwork and they understand how effective I am. I'm going to tear his ass up. Shit got me hot for real, man. No, no, no. We gotta relax now. You know, too many of my people working right now that I got a lot of respect for, so they got to get a break right now. Yeah. Like they gonna have to surgically remove them tight ass blue pants you got on, idiot. And they're gonna have to surgically remove those tight ass blue pants he got on. Need a scalpel to cut them shits off. No, no, him. No, dude. Him. The one with them tight ass blue pants on look like they need a scalpel to cut and peel them off. Get away from me. Keep talking shit. This day could go a whole lot different, asshole. I hope you know that. I hope you know that. This day could go a whole lot different for you motherfuckers around here. I'm sorry, Miss Rose. Let me chill out. Somebody's supposed to be fucking scared to speak up on behalf of another inmate who's having a healthcare issue that need help. I'ma speak up. I don't give a fuck about no consequence. You gonna have to consequent me about that man's health. That's just the way I'm rolling. Fuck what everybody else gonna do. This James Bird, I'm rolling like that. I'm gonna keep rolling like that. Y'all know what the fuck I'm into. I've been rolling like that. I'm not gonna disregard this man's healthcare around me and think you're gonna get away with it. And I ain't gonna speak up and say something. I wanna act tough. We could get tough. We could get on some gangster shit around this bitch with no problem. I ain't talking for no motherfucking cameras. I ain't talking from behind no doors. All right. I'm in there. I was alright till this goddamn quack ass doctor start this bullshit. I was alright till this quack ass doctor start this bullshit. They keep hiring these dudes that don't want to care about our health care, just making these decisions that affects our health. And then I'm supposed to shut up and accept that. I ain't even really got started yet for real. I've been being respectful about what I'm saying. I'll make his fucking day go a whole lot different for him. Now, yeah, I'm just saying though, like, yeah, that's what I'm saying. All we concerned about is his health care. I know what he's going through. He's got sickle cell disease. I've been dealing with him for like 7 years. This dude gonna walk away and leave him up here like that. Then when he gotta come back, he gonna have an attitude about it. They should have took him to the infirmary and monitored him, Captain Terry. Yeah. Somebody need to talk to that doctor dude and let him know though, man, your situation is, yeah, but he'll find out. He'll find out because this whole fucking jail will be shut down at the drop of a hat on my command. If I tell these inmates to roll out, they rolling. So it's all on him how he want to play it.
Don't let the few outweigh the many with that. You know what I mean?
Ain't no doubt.
Over everybody else, they can either get on board or get off.
Ain't no doubt. That's why I respect you to the utmost. So I think Captain Terry is going to ensure that he gets transferred to the infirmary and actually get the medical treatment that he needs. And I'm satisfied with that. But make no mistake, I don't give two fucks about no consequences when it comes to the healthcare and the safety or the well-being of any other individual, whether they're incarcerated in society, whether or not they're black, white, Chinese, whatever. I don't give a fuck about none of that. If you're a human being, I got your fucking back and I'm gonna hold it down for you. And if they gotta fuck me up or I gotta go through some type of consequence because I'm speaking up and I'm doing the right thing, then so be it. Bring that shit on. I don't give a fuck about no consequences. They know that just as well as everybody else knows that about me. Just because this fucking camera is rolling, I don't mean shit. I ain't doing this for the camera. I'm doing this because this is the way the fuck I am. And I don't give a fuck about no consequences when it comes down to what's right or wrong or the safety and the humanity of somebody else. Period.